Fast forward, you need come out our channel so how say AGH Politics Avenue. Podcast stories are training because making headlines. Na jembre na EDB Akroma ewa ha ni dim dia hombrakse mu se ene ADD kanya. Message so bitima subscribe to the channel. Hit notification bell, share na for from so answer into me enkabi. Ene di ma message say yebebo ewra yinsemu. Onu ayekwe yinsemu aye former auditor general Domelovo. Ena me no ka say what him accuse aye former attorney general Ǎccusěs of presenting fake document into petition against former Chief Justice Torkonoo Bawumia enya asem koto akra na kakum ho se yegene kwakwo num ono ankasa ajemre oboyi nchiremu at this point in time yebebo awura na so ye na yahwe ne yekọ ene de eba beda sese wajemre ewa hakse yenkoyin semu.
Tonight, former Attorney General Domelovo, or Auditor General, I should say, has accused former Attorney General Ǎccusěs of presenting fake documents during the investigation into petitions against former Chief Justice Torkonoo. This development comes after Ǎccusěs expressed satisfaction with the committee's decision alleging procedural breaches and questioning the authenticity of documents relied upon. Domelovo, a member of the committee, claims Ǎccusěs submitted falsified documents, including a letter signed by the Judicial Secretary appointing the Chief Justice, what he described as, quote, fake evidence.
Come to Mr. Ǎccusěs's attack on me. I find it very interesting. He said he has provided all the evidence to Mr. Domelovo, a former Auditor General, and I sat there and I didn't take it, and other people, I was whatever influenced my decision, he doesn't know. I want to put it on record that he provided us with evidence that were fake evidence. It will interest you to know that it is the junior of the Chief Justice, the Judicial Secretary, who appointed the Chief Justice. How is that? Yes, that letter he produced is signed by the Judicial Secretary appointing the Chief Justice. So if you follow the briefing that the Attorney General has been given, a lot of work is going on. Will you ask, are you satisfied? I'll say no, I am not satisfied. Because I can't see the end of the tunnel, not to talk about the light.
Well, joining us on the Zoom is former Attorney General Ǎccusěs. First of all, what's your reaction to this claim by Domelovo? Kindly unmute so we can hear what you're saying. Oh, we are trying to reconnect.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah. Sorry that I forgot to unmute. I'm saying that thanks for the opportunity, because to make such serious allegations, one would wonder whether Mr. Domelovo was actually being serious or just playing politics. I mean, when the Chief Justice was appointed Chief Justice of this country, it was on television, and I think everybody saw the president presenting with a warrant of office. In fact, it is this warrant of office which another president, I say, has now revoked. So I don't see how the Domelovo will say that what we tendered was a warrant. No, you were investigating into the conditions of service, the privileges, the salaries, and opportunities that are given to a Chief Justice. And I keep talking about a spending officer. The spending officer is the one at the institution who looks after budgetary allocations and how the budget is used, so that if at the end of the day some items do not appear to have been used in accordance with the policy, then that person will be held responsible. It is that person who will be surcharged, or whatever expenditure has done is said to have been disallowed. So we talk about disallowances and surcharges. In this case, the Judicial Secretary, after the Chief Justice had assumed office, wrote to her, telling her that these are some of the privileges of your office. that you are entitled to at least travel twice in a year. It is this kind of thing that we're trying to prove that it was not an unapproved travel, but it was part of a conditions of service. So we brought the letter, which was signed by the spending officer, who also happens to be the judicial secretary, to show the conditions that the Chief Justice was.
But he said that letter has been falsified. They didn't say so. What he says is that that letter ought to have come from the president, because it is the president who appoints. Listen to him again. He didn't say that that letter itself has been falsified. No. So his point is that to talk about an appointment of a Chief Justice, and that was why he was referring to the title, that apart from the title, he suspects the letter. And I'm saying I'm surprised, because he ought to know. Again, during the trial, if he felt it was a fake letter, he could have called the judicial secretary and quizzed her and asked her, did you sign this letter? So on what basis has he waited since the 1st of September for him to now come out to say what he's saying now? So this concern was not raised at the time you were meeting the committee at all?
Never. Never. We told that, look, first of all, this is, a lot of you are reading law. Is it for me to bring evidence? Is it not for a client to give me a document to tender on their behalf? So to even ascribe it to me, it's disingenuous. Why? Am I
but you are a lawyer, of course. You would have to look at the evidence that you're going to rely on. Have you done that check yourself to ascertain for a fact that that document was authentic?
Look, I'm telling you, official duty is presumed to have been officially done. And this was an official letter which was sent to her by the judicial secretary. So the presumption is on their side. The presumption of genuineness is on their side. Domelovo, what work has it done? Is it for me to go and investigate and ask questions? The letter has been given to me, an official letter from the Office of the Judicial Secretary. Is presumed to have been officially done. It is right that the onus is on him. And he didn't do this, and today he's going to sit on radio to be talking this way. Is it fair?
What are you going to do next about this whole matter? What is the next line of action?
Well, we will advise ourselves. That's all I'll say now.
You taking him to court?
I said we will advise ourselves.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us here on Join Us Prime.
Away from that, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Inchi-Bisiako, Chairman Wontumi, popularly called, will spend the night behind bars after failing to meet a 25 million Ghana cedis bail sum imposed with two sureties in different cases before the Criminal Divisional Court of Accra. The embattled Chairman Wontumi has been placed on a stop list and banned from traveling abroad, and is also accused of destroying 13 hectares of land in the Torkonoo Nimri forest.
Well, these accusations are in a second case filed against Chairman Wontumi for allegedly engaging in illegal mining. In the first case filed against him, also related to illegal mining, he is accused of signing a mineral right without approval and facilitating illegal mining. Chairman Wontumi denies all these charges. My colleague Kweku Asante has been in court all day covering these two cases in our report.
Of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Inchi-Bisiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, is facing two separate criminal cases of alleged illegal mining activities involving his company, Akroma Mining Limited. Both cases were heard at the High Court here in Accra, where he has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Chairman Wontumi's legal troubles deepened this week when he appeared before the police CID, prior to being put before two different courts in Accra to answer a total of 13 charges, all linked to alleged illegal mining operations in the Torkonoo Nimri Forest Reserve and Samriboy in the Western region. Chairman Wontumi and four others, including his Akroma Mining Company Limited, were arraigned on 7 counts of unlawful mining and environmental destruction. The prosecution alleged that Akonta Mining, under the direction of Chairman Wontumi and his associates, operated illegally within the Torkonoo Forest Reserve in 2022, despite being denied a permit to do so. They are accused of destroying about 13 hectares of land, felling over 300 trees, and erecting buildings within the reserve without authorization. After hearing arguments from both sides, the court in this matter granted Chairman Wontumi bail in the sum of 10 million cedis with two sureties, one of whom must justify with landed property. Earlier in the day, Chairman Wontumi had appeared in another criminal court where he faced 6 separate charges for breaches of Ghana's mining laws. In that case, he was granted 15 million cedis bail with 3 sureties and placed on a stop list at all entry and exit points of the country. The court also ordered him to deposit his passport, report to investigators twice a month. The 6 counts in that case includes unauthorized assignment of mineral rights and facilitating unlicensed mining operations, which prosecutors say occurred within Akonta Mining's concession at Samreboy in the Western region. A second accused person, Kwame Entry, is currently at large. Both cases stem from investigations by the Criminal Investigations Department, which found evidence of large-scale destruction in parts of the Torkonoo Forest Reserve. Officials say excavators bearing Akonta Mining's logo were used in operations that led to the extensive environmental damage, including river pollution and deforestation. Chairman Wontumi has maintained his innocence in both cases. Bernard Enchibo has since failed to meet the bail conditions, at least for tonight, and will sleep in police custody.
What these bail conditions mean for NPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman Wontumi Bernard Enchibo is that until this trial, in which he is accused of facilitating illegal mining, is concluded, he is unable to travel outside the country, perhaps without the permission of the court. And any time he wishes to do so on any basis, he would have to apply to the court for the court to give him permission, or perhaps for the court to revise the bail conditions. But until then, Chairman Wontumi is not allowed to travel outside the country. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, High Court Complex, Accra.
Still on illegal mining, a fresh wave of illegal mining activities has hit Asante Achimbompata in the Ashanti region, leaving vast stretches of cocoa farms destroyed and local farmers devastated. Residents say the miners who began tripping into the area in recent weeks are digging pits and diverting water bodies that serve as a lifeline for the community. According to affected farmers, the illegal miners have taken over productive cocoa farms, uprooting trees and contaminating the soil and streams. My colleague Nana Bwachi joins me live from the Ashanti region with more on this. Nana, what is the extent of destruction in this community?
Firstly, this is the very beginning of the illegal miners' invasion into Boedi in the Asante Achim South constituency. And for the very start, where they've been able to get into cocoa farms, they have been destroying several farmlands, with farmers complaining severely about how the destruction is affecting their yields. Not just cocoa farms, but other plantations in the area have been affected. The miners came in about 2 weeks ago, and they have been able to make way into some large acre of land, and some of them cocoa farms, destroying them to the extent that has led the chiefs to complain bitterly about their activities. Well, they have come into the community to engage with authorities to give them some portion of land, because to them, they have realized that there seem to be some gold in the community, and they want to take it upon themselves to dig it. The chiefs refuse to give them that order or the authority, but they've taken it into their own hands, gone into some of the cocoa farms that you see on your screen, and they have started digging into the farm that belongs to these hardworking farmers, leaving them to complain. And so the extent of damage at this point has become severe, leaving chiefs and then residents complaining bitterly.
Have they officially reported it to the police?
Well, an official complaint has been made to the municipal chief executive. We are being told that the chief of the area has also gotten himself involved severely, making sure that there's swift government intervention. The farmers themselves reached out to us this afternoon and gave us all these footages that you see. They also said that they are going to make an official complaint to the police and also call on NIMOS to also help. So for now, a lot of interventions are being made to make sure that this damage does not really extend deeply into the community.
So no official police report yet, but has the police even visited the site in the first place, just to assess the extent of damage?
As I speak to you, no authority has visited the area. The confirmation or clarification that we've had from the residents indicates that for about 2 weeks now since they came, they've been doing it, hiding themselves from any form of visibility, and the authorities are unable to trace them. But then they are going to press charges continuously with the police and also reach out to the regional minister to also bring forth the national security to help them in getting rid of these miners.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Let's now take you to Parliament, because key government businesses, especially presentation of the 2026 budget, may face potential delay due to the postponement of Parliament resumption date indefinitely. Speaker Alban Bagbin, in a press statement on September 29, announced that the House will resume from recess on October 14, 2025, after 2.5 months of break. But just yesterday, the Speaker, in another statement, has announced that he has suspended the resumption until further notice, and in his own words, due to circumstances beyond his control. There's more in the following report.
Apart from the regular parliamentary business of debate and adoption of committee reports, bills, and others, the consideration of key government businesses, especially budget presentation, is important to the smooth running of every government. That is why even before Dr. Kasela Tuforsen could present his first budget as finance minister, he was hopeful that his next one, the 2026 budget, will be presented in October 2025, earlier than the usual November presentation. This was his reason.
Again, we'll come back and hold. And this year, you want to read the budget in October, I believe. So we'll get to
October ending.
October ending, okay. And if that happens, okay, if that happens to be the earliest, yes, the budget for the next year has been read in the previous year.
I believe we should give the MPs enough time for them to peruse the document and appreciate it and debate it well. And so I'm looking at October ending so they can have 2 good months to be.
On the other hand, one major issue that has transcended the fight against Galamsey has been the civil society organization's call for outright termination of LI 2462, which allows for forest reserves to be mined. Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine, in the president's encounter with CSOs on the fight against Galamsey, did not only announce a repeal of the bill, but was specific on the exact date a bill will be laid in Parliament to revoke the LI.
We have prepared an instrument, that is LI 2505, in my office, and that will be laid in Parliament on the 14th. The Minister and I have agreed that on the 14th of October, when Parliament resumes, we'll lay that instrument to revoke the famous LI 2462, which is the infamous LI 2462, so that there will be no basis whatsoever for anybody to tamper with, with our forest. So immediately it is laid. Within 21 days, it matures, and from that time onwards, we will not have LI 2462.
It is, however, obvious that these two key matters may suffer setbacks following the Speaker's indefinite postponement of an earlier 14th October resumption date. The Speaker, in this statement, says the postponement has become necessary due to circumstances beyond his control. As to what the circumstances are, it is still unclear. But for now, both the AG and the Finance Minister may have to wait a bit longer to bring these businesses before the legislature.
Away from that, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, has put the government on notice, warning that the transport fares will inevitably rise if fuel prices continue to increase especially within the next pricing window. The union's warning come amid concerns that a hike in fuel prices could further burden commuters already grappling with high cost of living. The public relations officer of the GPRTU, Abbas Moro, spoke today at a news conference. Fatau Bayaga reports.
The transport union is calling on the government to ensure stability in the prices of petroleum products to effectively enhance the operations of drivers. The union warns that any further increase above the current fuel prices of 14 cedis 20 pesos per litre and 13 cedis 38 pesos per litre for diesel and petrol respectively will prompt an upward adjustment of fares to recoup their lost revenue. Abbas Ibrahim Moro is the public relations officer of the union.
This call has become necessary because there has been a gradually progressive increment in fuel prices since operators reduced transport fares by 15% from 2nd May 2025 by 12.69 per litre and 11.34 per litre for diesel and petrol respectively. We are therefore informing the general public that any further increase in the present fuel prices of 14.20 per litre and 13.38 per litre for diesel and petrol respectively shall compel us to increase transport fares to accommodate the lost revenue.
He explains that the refusal of spare parts dealers to lower their prices is further affecting the operations.
So we are just pleading with all those in authority to make sure if they can reduce it, they should maintain the prices at where they are today so that we could also manage with the struggling that we are going through with the spare parts which hasn't visited any reduction, lubricants which hasn't visited any reduction, and other components as well.
We and Samahuro Timiko so channel no so mamno so jemre wahada seneso body and dumbi adumiania. Only a bessentia near some constant kusokra. Aha, a GH Politics Avenue.